Good morning, everyone. My name is Mitchell. Welcome back to my channel. It's good to see you guys again. We actually made it through all 17 NFL weeks without any cancellations. There might have been rescheduling, delays, whatever the case had to be, some positive COVID cases every now and then, but the fact they finished the season is just phenomenal, and they had the very much right COVID-19 type of protocols to get through it, and we made it through a very long year in 2020 full of the pandemic and the COVID and just everything else, having unemployment, having many shutdowns happen. So we survived that year, and I'm glad to say that we are in 2021 now. So it's already feeling like this week went fast. So if you guys would like, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. So we will get going now. It's the NFL playoffs. So this is the prediction for that. So we will start with the AFC side first. On Saturday, which is tomorrow, the first game is between Indianapolis versus Josh Allen and the Bills. I think Phillip Rivers has been having a sensational season with Indianapolis, but I do not see them pulling it out against, I do not see the Colts pulling it out against the Bills, so I'm going to take the Bills there. So then on Sunday we have the Ravens and Titans. I'm gonna take Tennessee because they're very consistent at home, and Derrick Henry, after having a tough past few games, including versus Green Bay most notably, I think he'll start to get it going against the Ravens again. So then that puts the Titans to the divisional game. Then with the Sunday night game, January 10th at 8:15, it's the Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers. So I will not have any underdogs in the AFC win this time. So I'm going to take the Steelers because the Browns have not been in the playoffs in a very long time, a couple decades actually. And the Steelers, with that Big Ben and company, and they're at home. There's no fans officially at Heinz Field for that game, but they're going to have enough consistency, I think, to beat them, which is one of their rivals in that game. So Pittsburgh will move on in that one. So with that one being said, it's gonna be the lowest seed versus Kansas City. So the lowest seed will be Tennessee versus them. I'm gonna take Kansas City to repeat and move on to the AFC Championship yet again. And the highest seed will play the lowest seed, which will be Buffalo and Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh because of their experience, and Buffalo has not hosted a playoff game in very long. And Pittsburgh with Roethlisberger and James Conner's getting hot at the right time, I think it's going to set up a very iconic matchup of Pittsburgh versus Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. I'm going to go with an upset here. I'm going to take Big Ben and the Steelers to finally make it back to the big game for the first time since the 2011 season. So they're going to pencil their trip down to Miami, and Kansas City will eventually be eliminated. Atlanta could even beat Kansas City. That's very much how inconsistent they kind of have been this year. So I'm gonna take the Steelers to make the Super Bowl. So we have the NFC side next. So once I get it pulled up here, then we'll get going from there. I got technical difficulties, so please hold on for a moment here. So, so I'm working on it right now here. The NFC one's kind of blacked out here, so let's see. So now we have the NFC side. So thank you guys all for your patience. I very much appreciate it. So I had to split screen it along with doing this video. So the first NFC game is tomorrow afternoon on Fox. It's the LA Rams versus Seattle Seahawks. Jared Goff, I don't think is consistent enough, and they've lost Todd Gurley, which was a big part of their Super Bowl run a few years back. So Seattle's gonna, I think they're very due to get a big statement win like this against an NFC West against an NFC West rival. So I'm gonna take Seattle to get the first game done. Next, we have tomorrow night. We have a very interesting matchup. 6-10 Washington football team did make the playoffs because the Eagles did lose on Sunday. The Eagles did lose on Sunday night to them, and they clinched with a win no matter what happened. Due to the Giants and Cowboys result, they won and they clinched their spot. So Alex Smith is going to be playing in his first playoff game in a very long time as a starter. So it's a big congratulations to him that he made the playoffs, and amazing how long he's been in the league. So this is going to be a very, very big matchup. But I'm going to actually go with a slight upset here. And Tampa Bay, I don't think been as consistent as Brady was with the Patriots, and Washington's at home. They're very good. They're very much showing how underrated they were, and they blew out Dallas on Thanksgiving. They beat Philly pretty manhandily, and they would have beaten them a lot more if Hurts wasn't in. I don't think, but I think they're going to have enough to beat them. So we're going to take Washington to get that one done. So yep. So we're going, and then also for the Bears and Saints game, which is the second to last game of the entire wild card weekend. I'm going to take the Saints. As much as I want the Bears to win, even as a Packers fan, just for a low seed, the Saints are going to be way too tough, and they're looking way better now than the beginning of the season, like when my Green Bay Packers beat them. So the Saints are going to move on to the divisional round against Seattle, and the Packers will play the Washington football team in the divisional. The Washington football team will definitely not win in Green Bay, so Green Bay will secure their spot in the NFC Championship game. And then for Seattle and New Orleans, I'm gonna take the Saints, actually, because I think the Saints are really gonna be ready to perform at their prime at home, and Russell Wilson and Seahawks really can struggle on the road, and Breeze is really due to make an NFC Championship game for the first time in 3 years when they lost to the Rams. So they're going to be moving back to the NFC Championship against Green Bay. I'm gonna take New Orleans to beat the Packers, because after a bye, the Packers very much struggle. They lost to the Buccaneers after starting undefeated. They also lost to the Vikings right before like a 10-day type of break after a Thursday night game in San Francisco. I don't think they're going to have enough to make the big game this year. And Drew Brees and the Packers rush defense has been very phenomenal lately, stopping Derrick Henry. But when they run into big games and playing Alvin Kamara in New Orleans, I think they're gonna shut them down big time at Lambeau. So that leaves us a matchup of New Orleans and Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna take Big Ben and the Steelers to pull it out for the first time since 2009, and the Steelers will be your Super Bowl champions in Miami Gardens, Florida. I'm very excited for this year's NFL playoffs. I hope the Packers make it, God forbid, but this is my prediction video. Hope you all enjoyed. Enjoy the super wild card weekend this weekend, and in general, and lastly, Happy New Year for one last time this year. See you all on my next video.